point is, you always want to come out with these things. Is that, yeah, you can hear me. Very good. The pamphlet that you passed out, or somebody passed out, wasn't me, I don't know. And everything said that I knew General Eisenhower. So I'm going to start talking about where and how I knew the general. We got a visitor one day from two guys from the headquarters. They were coming up there and they wanted transportation down to Gibraltar. And we were the only way to do it. We put the two of them in two of our B-17s and we flew them down to Gibraltar. That's okay. They went over into North Africa where they parlayed with the French about not resisting the invasion we were going to make in North Africa. It was at that early in the game. The French haven't changed a bit. We gave them $2 million in gold, and they did not resist the invasion. In any event, the way back from West to Gibraltar that night was without a doubt the worst navigation trip I have ever in my life been into. It was one front after another, about 6 fronts between Gibraltar and England. And I'm above the clouds, and all of a sudden we break out over the coast up around England. And Tibbets calls me and he says, "Dutch, do you know where the hell you are?" I says, "No." And he says, "You think you know where you are?" I says, "Well, I hope I know where I'm at." This sort of thing. He says, "Oh, what's that island down there anyhow?" There's an island down below us like this one. And he says, "That's not one of the Channel Islands, is it?" And I says, "Nah, that's not one of the Channel Islands." He said, "Well," he turned around and Mark Clark, he says, "We'll go down the circle." He said, "If it's one of the Channel Islands, they'll start shooting at us. Then we'll know where we're at." A hard way to find out. The day that trip then from that point into our field, how many of you remember, you guys that go in the 8th Air Force, how many of you remember a thing that the RAF had for QDM? You contacted this radio station and they gave you a heading to fly to get back to your base. I never used a damn thing. I didn't trust it. My radio operator takes it upon himself to suddenly get one of them, and it says, "I'm going at 180 degrees the wrong direction." Now, I stop and think about it a minute, and I think, if he's right and I'm wrong, we're flying into Germany, and the damn Germans are shooting at us. That's not right. But if I'm right and he's wrong, we're going to end up out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean without any fuel. That's not a very good idea either. So anyhow, we went into our base. 2 days later, we got 2 guys from the RAF down there to apologize to me. Forgive me a wrong duty. That's okay, though. We go on. Now we get to the part with Eisenhower. About a week later, we get these guys back again. This time we're to take Eisenhower's entire staff from England down to North Africa to command the North African invasion. This is the days before we even invaded North Africa. Eisenhower and I all come out there. Eisenhower's there, Doolittle's there, Duncan is there, all generals. More generals than you take a second. They divided themselves up between 6 of our airplanes. The weather is horrible. with the B-27, B-17. And I was pacing up and down these Germans and all that sort of stuff. And he says, Lieutenant, can't we just take off? And the thing about Hearn and Gideon, I always remember, there was a big old church steeple sitting off about 13 degrees off the runway. And I says, I don't want to tangle with that or anything of that type. So I tell Eisenhower, I says, well, General, I don't want to wrap a two-star general around that church steeple out there. And he says, well, I got to get down there and everything else. So he finally paces back and forth some more. Finally he stops me again. He says, if I were alone, would you take off with me alone? And I says, General, if you were alone, we'd be gone already. And he says, well, then let's go. I got a war to fight down there. And we took him down there to command the North African invasion. We flew to Gibraltar. You all want to know what happened to those 6 airplanes coming down there. And I'll tell you. We had 6 other airplanes. We had his staff divided up among them. One of the airplanes caught on fire, settled slowly into the water. We don't know what happened to it. Another airplane, which had General Doolittle on board, had some trouble. So they turned around, went back to England to get the trouble repaired before they took off again. The next day, they are going back down to Gibraltar. They run into a German patrol plane out there. That would have been fun. 2 4-engine planes fighting with each other. But anyhow, they all had a big fight and everything else. The co-pilot was wounded and could not find the airplane. So they laid him out. Now they needed a new co-pilot. General Doolittle was on board. Guess who the pilot picked to be co-pilot on that particular mission? They landed at Gibraltar with General Doolittle as co-pilot on that airplane. He crawls out of the airplane, and everybody's standing up. They have a 2-star general for co-pilot on the plane, for Christ's sake. But anyhow, that's the way that happened to that one. That night, well, that day, the people said, go up in the rock at a certain place that night, and you'll see a very stirring sight. And it was one of the most stirring sights I've seen in the end of our war.